Alright, a bit of video on leaders. We'll call this one Herdy the Leader Nerd. I love leaders, love them for presenting fly. But most basic of these leaders is just a level monofilament leader. This one's fluorocarbon, 16 pound. This is not a very good solution for anything other than, say, heavy flies on sinking line. I only use 6 feet of that. You don't really care about turnover and presentation, you just want to get that line out there. Next option is a commercial tapered leader, knotless, not very customizable, very good but pretty expensive to buy, and you can go through them pretty quickly, not very durable. Next one that I would use, and I use these reasonably regularly, is a knotted leader, thick butt section, thin tippet section, a few knots in the middle of them, a little bit stretchy, a little bit of memory in them, and you will also have to some extent the capability of picking up weed and so on in the knots, but very customizable, very good for that. Next option is a twisted leader. There's a video of mine on here somewhere about how to make these up. I like these leaders a lot. Minimal memory, quite strong, a little bit of stretch, a bit sparkly though, so you may not want to use them with spooky fish. Furled leaders, these are very good for drag-free drifts, zero memory. They do pick up a little bit of water, they'll spray that off. This act of spraying off that water means that you're shedding a little bit of mass from the leader, so you can actually, the leader presentation will be a little bit different on each cast. The ultimate though, and the reason for this video, is hollow braid tapered leader I make myself with loops on each end, and it's impregnated with a boiled linseed and varnish mixture. I make them in green just so they look a bit like weeds sitting in the water. They don't spray any water. If you put a mucilin coating on them, they will float. They're essentially the same as an artificial silk leader that's tapered and extremely high strength. My friend Paul Arden uses these in Malaysia when he's fishing for snakehead. Ties on a braid tippet, a 50-pound braid tippet, so the leader system and his tippet is not the weakest thing in his system. The fly line is the weakest thing. So I'm going to show you how to make these. Alright, so just a run through of the things you'll need to make these leaders. You'll need hollow braid Spectra. This is Jerry Brown hollow braid Spectra from BHP Tackle. See the link below. You need various sizes from 130 pound down to 40 pound. 130 will be the thickest you'd need for about a 12 weight line. 40 is about the thinnest you need for the tip section on the very finest of your leaders. Obviously you need something to cut that braid with. Clamp is handy to hold the spool in place, give you a little bit of tension, makes the needles go through easier. A little bit of water for wetting the braid, makes the needles go through easier. These are the needles, also buy these from BHP Tackle. I have a medium latch hook here, and a couple of choices in wire loop needles. The smallest one is the one I use most often. The last step of the leaders is to coat them or impregnate them with a mixture of boiled linseed oil and spar varnish. That mixture is about 80% boiled linseed oil and about 20% spar varnish. You can use anything from 10 to 25%. 20% seems to work pretty well. Alright, since I'm making a 10 weight leader, I'm going to use a 130 pound butt section. I'm going to put a loop in that butt section using the method that's shown on the BHP website, BHP Tackle website. I'll put a link for that here. Follow that for the loop connection and you won't go wrong. First step is to tie off the loose end. Give yourself a big... So loose end's tied off. Give yourself a large tag on that. You'll use that for other things later on. Wet the line. Insert the needle towards the loose end of the line. Three or 4 inches is enough there. Turn that inside out. Tie off the spool. We're going to insert the tag into the main part of the line. First of all, we need to set the loop size we want. It's a pretty good loop size there. So we're going to insert the needle into this part of the line. Use the full length of the needle. Put the tag end in the latch needle. Pull the tag through. And make sure that there isn't a loop visible there. Punch it up. Do the same from the loop end. Punch it up and then pull away from that join. Now at this point, pull through that tag, pull maybe an inch out, cut it off, pull the slack back over the cut. So here we have 2 layers of 130 pound down to this point, then it's a single layer there. Next we'll feed 100 pound into there, so we'll have 2 layers 130 pound, 1 layer 130 pound, 1 layer 100 pound. That's the first step in the taper. So I'm going to clamp off that loop. That's 130 pound there. Here's my 100 pound. So about 12 inches roughly. From that join that's there, that's where I'm going to feed in my 100 pound line. And it's really important to make sure that this needle goes all the way up to that join that's there and just into it if you can. Just push it a little bit beyond that and then pull it out. So leave that tag hanging out. There's a slight overlap there. We're going to cut that off later on and pull it back through. So here we've got 2 layers of 130 pound. Here we've got 1 layer of 130 pound, 1 layer of 100 pound. At this point down here, we've still got 100 pound and 30 pound together. But if I chop off that 130 pound there, pull it back through later on, then we'll end up with the leader tapering at that point. So at this point we're going to turn it around so that I'm clamping off. I'm going to cut off this 130 pound here, give myself about 10 inches, 130 pound, maybe a little bit more than that. I'm going to feed that back into the 100 pound. So time to splice that 130 pound back into the 100 pound here. Slip a little bit of line from the 100 pound. So those two steps together, they give you one of the other things that you'll find on BHP tackles line, and that's the splice line connection. So that is what I've just done there. So I've got 2 layers of 130, layer 130, layer 100, splice, layer 130, layer 100. I'm going to chop the 130 off here and in turn and pull that back in. Then I'm going to feed 80 into there, and I'll have 180, and then so on down the line until I get 60 and 80, and then 60 and 60.